key to healthy attachment is not parenting perfectly, but attuning and repairing when we miss their needs. Do you often repair with your kids when you make mistakes with them, or what do you say to them?
I'll start and say that when I was growing up, my dad was awesome at that. He would always, no matter what happened between us or whatever, he would always come down to my room and we'd talk about it and just make sure the relationship was intact. So I had a really good example of that. For me, for some reason, it's easier for me to do that with my daughter. If I feel like I've hurt her feelings or not handled something correctly, it's easy for me to go to her and kind of make up. It's not as easy with my son. I'll do it. I try to do it. I make a point to do it. But sometimes it just takes me a little bit longer. Yeah. It might be a few days later, and I'll say, hey, let's talk about, I shouldn't have reacted the way I did, or I wish I'd have handled that better. Right. But I feel like that's one of the most important things we can do as parents, because our kids don't expect us to be perfect. They know that we make mistakes, and what a valuable thing we teach them by being humble enough to go to them with those things. Right. And say, I wish I'd have handled this differently, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I don't think I repair often enough, but it's just another skill, like with attunement, I'm trying to really work on and do more, do it better. I think that I was at a marriage conference one time where I remember the guy that talked about, like, with parenting, that he just said the line, something of like, we're gonna make mistakes, like you said, Danny, but the grace and the beauty here is that you don't realize how huge and crucial attunement is to come in and repair, and it's like I just felt so much freedom from that, of like, yeah, I mean, we certainly need to work on anger or coping or all these strategies to lessen the need for repair, but when that happens, it was just a great insight into that, like, that's huge, and that makes sense. So I know when, like, I can picture one in particular of my kids who we probably butt heads more, and when I'm really strong on him, and to the point where maybe he shuts down, or even is in his room crying or whatever, and I find that out, and it's like, oh man, I need to go in and sit with him. And I find every time it's like this beautiful thing of, like, I feel like it takes humility, like you said, but I feel sort of a sense of guilt. I feel like I screwed up here, and my screw up was maybe even worse than whatever the thing was that led to me reacting this way. But there just has always been such a great reception from the kids, almost like, thank you, like, we'll talk through it, and like there's forgiveness, and like, yeah, it's a beautiful, I guess, picture of the power of repair.